Welcome back to Sack to the Future. It is 1980, and coming into the season, it is the Dallas Cowboys at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Dallas Cowboys have moved on from Roger Staubach, and the Doomsday defense is just too old, some say. They did make the playoffs last year, but had a quick exit to the to the Los Angeles Rams. 1979 Buccaneers, a turning point as they finally put a good team on the field, won the division, and made the playoffs at 10-6. Actually made it all the way to the championship game, to where they also lost to the Rams. So a battle of a couple teams that lost to the Rams last year in 79, and also a passing of the torch, some say. The old guard, the Dallas Cowboys, who were great throughout the 70s. But again, Captain America's gone. The Doomsday defense is getting older. Many say this will be a down year, and maybe the first year that you'll see the Cowboys irrelevant as far as playoff talks. Whereas Tampa Bay, everyone's excited now. They made the playoffs all the way to the championship game. Expectations are high from the for the team from Florida. So this should be a good one. As far as the so-called experts go, last year the Cowboys were 11-5. Tampa Bay was 10-6. Very close as far as the records from last year go. I have the Cowboys, as far as my rating system on Madden goes. The Cowboys are 4-point favorites coming into this game. Even if you give 3 points to Tampa Bay for home field, it's still a 1-point favorite. So I expect the Cowboys to win this game, but we will see how it goes. So week 1 is underway. So it is 1980. Oh, here's the guy that replaced Roger Staubach, of course, Danny White. Here you see some of his numbers. A lot of pressure filling in the shoes of Roger Staubach. I was going to say, it is still Sack to the Future, so of course you will see each of the Dallas Cowboy, New York Giants, Chicago Bears, and Buffalo Bills games without question, and we'll sprinkle in another few perhaps as time allows. But there you see Danny White's first pass after the retirement of Roger Staubach is a 34-yard strike down the middle. And the Cowboys already into Tampa Bay territory. We got a handoff to Tony Dorsett, but he is driven back. No gain. And they'll give it to him again. This time he's got a hole across the 40, 45, gets a block, 30, 25-yard line before he's finally run out of bounds. 19-yard gain. Tony Dorsett, you got to hit him early. If you give him any light, it could be a huge gain every time. Tony Dorsett, of course, coming into his own as, or already established as a superstar in this league. Here you see some missed tackles by Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's strong suit is tackling up front. Luckily, they didn't let him get away from the last tackler, or else he might have gone the rest of the way. Now they'll pitch it out to him. Here's a cut back inside the 20, and Tony Dorsett's down to the 16-yard line. So Dallas, so much for Dallas being old and passing the torch, as they are moving the ball just fine right through the Tampa Bay defense. There's another handoff, but now Tampa Bay stiffens up. Dorsett 28 yards on 5 carries now, but he's short of the first down there, and let's see what Tom Landry wants to do here on 4th and 1. The custom coaches are somehow even worse than they ever were. He is going to go for it, but it won't look like Tom Landry on the sideline. There's really no point to even create custom and coaches, as you get about 4 choices. So why not? Why even go through it? But here we go, handoff. It's, well, he had the first down, but then he went for a second effort. Still did get back across the line. So Robert Newhouse on the carry. 4th down, they put Dorsett on the bench. Newhouse comes in, and he picks up the first down. Danny White now back to pass. He's looking, he fires, he's got an open man. Tony Dorsett inside the 10, down to the 6-yard line. So Danny White, 2 for 2 now. Start to the 1980 season. And now Dorsett's the tailback. I formation. They'll fake it to him. Danny White scanning the field. The line gives him protection, and he just gets that ball out of bounds. Nobody could get open despite the good production by the O-line. And now we got a 3rd and 3. It's not 3rd and goal. It's 3rd and 3. Danny White drops back. He'll throw it out to Robert Newhouse out of the backfield. But Tampa Bay all over that and stops him short. Nice tackle by Johnson. And 4th and 3, I think they'll finally see the field goal unit come out. And they are going to go for it. So Tom Landry, foot to the pedal here. 2nd time going for it, 4th down. They turn, hand it off, and Tampa Bay stops Tony Dorsett short. Wow, went to the well, maybe one too many times. But the good news for Tampa, or Dallas's defense, is that at least Tampa's all the way back inside their own 5. But here's a look at Doug Williams. Finally arrived as a quarterback last year when he led his team into the playoffs. 25-year-old out of Grambling State. And off to Eckwood. Eckwood loses a yard, though. Tampa Bay will split the carries. They don't have a dominant runner like the Cowboys do in Tony Dorsett. So you'll see Eckwood, Bell, maybe even Jones will get some carries. And they'll turn, handoff again. This time a little bit better blocking. And Ricky Bell this time on the carry gets 5 yards. So that makes it a 3rd and 6. And now big Doug Williams is going to go from the shotgun. And a quick throw out to the side, right near the 1st down marker. Needed 6, got exactly 6. 1st down. Doug Williams to Gordon Jones. Gordon Jones, the 23-year-old out of Pittsburgh. Dougie Williams will fake it. He's going to run on the old 1980 option play. Can only do what Madden lets you. Doug Williams, 2nd and 9. Now he's going deep, looking for the home run ball, and he's got his man inside the 30, all the way down to the 25. Waters, they're saying he, sorry. Let me see what happens here. I think, okay, the corner passes it off to the safety, but he just beats him deep, and Waters not able to keep up in speed. If they're planning on doing that, you think Waters would start going back earlier, as I mean, he's not a cornerback because he can't keep up with receivers speed-wise. So interesting design by the Cowboys defense there. There's another fake, and Doug Williams is going to keep it again, and Waters in on the tackle, showing Doug Williams he can tackle. So Dallas drove all the way down inside the 10-yard line, went for that 4th down, and came up short. And now Tampa Bay driving right down the Doomsday defense. And 1st and 10 from the 13. Doug Williams fires towards the end zone. That's complete inside the 5. That's another 1st down. Doug Williams is 3 of 3 for 77 yards. An amazing start to his 1980 season. first and goal for the Buccaneers. Williams, quick throw, wide open, touchdown. Wow. Maybe they were right. Maybe it is Tampa Bay's time, as Doug Williams was amazing on that drive. And Tampa Bay takes the lead 6-0. The crowd is fired up. I don't know what coverage Dallas was playing there. But very interesting. The first one seemed to be, handoff to the safety, but the safety didn't get deep enough and got beat deep. That one just seemed like confusion. Neither person knew who was going to pick them up, and nobody covered them. So the first touchdown of 1980 belongs to Isaac Higgins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So decent return. Dallas will take over at the 24-yard line. There you see. Good look at Drew Pearson and his Cowboy offense. All right. Danny White's going to start throwing. He's in all kinds of trouble, though. Down he goes. A big sack, and the momentum is all in Tampa Bay's favor now. Kolar comes in and annihilates Danny White. Ugh. Horrible start for the Cowboys. A good start, actually, but then they went for it in fourth down. And since that defensive stop by Tampa Bay, it's been all Buccaneers. Now they'll go ahead and hand it off to Dorsett. He will get a couple. By the 3rd and long coming up. They're talking to Betty Barnes. Not sure if he was the one that didn't cover Higgins on the touchdown or not. Danny White, 3rd and 16, drops back. The line gives him time to go downfield, and he throws it into a congested area, but it falls incomplete. I guess I should probably figure out how to put the chat thing back up on the side. But most likely nobody's going to watch live anyway. If you are watching in the replay, you're one of the couple endeared fans that Sack to the Future had, then certainly, comment on the video. Let me know that you're watching and excited about Sack to the Future again. Doug Williams throws it out to Eckwood for his 5th consecutive completion to start 1980. And another option called Doug Williams. Look at Doug Williams go. He makes one man. Oof. Gets his head taken off at the end of that. But a huge run. Doug Williams now is throwing 5 consecutive completions and also run for about 40 yards or so. It's all the Doug Williams show here. And there's a handoff, and Dallas all over that. D.D. Lewis on the tackle. Now, in case you're wondering and thinking that perhaps you don't remember 1980 and was Doug Williams really a 100% accurate quarterback, that answer would be no. Pretty good quarterback for the time, meaning that he had more touchdowns than interceptions. But he was actually under 50%. So the fact that he is perfect is something amazing. 3rd and 4 coming up. That was 6 yards there. Doug Williams now trying to remain perfect. He'll roll out to the right, and now he's got to throw it away. So finally, Doug Williams falls under 100%. And Dallas defense forces a 4th down, and Tampa Bay will go ahead and take the points on Dallas, who went for it, didn't get anything. And this kick is good. So Tampa Bay up 10-0 now. Premium on the field goal. Still doing it at age 36. So, Danny White, well, he had shoes to fill. Roger Staubach leaving the team. Some experts are predicting the collapse of the Cowboys. And then he comes out, has a good first drive, but it stalls short when they get aggressive and go for the 4th down. And now he looks and they're down by 10 points. So the pressure continues to mount. Now, the Cowboys actually had more snaps than the Bucs in that first quarter, but negative 59, there's classic Madden presentation skills, as there's no way the Cowboys have negative 59-yard rushing, but whatever. Now, there's -1 on that play by Robert Newhouse, his 3rd carry of the game. Tony Dorsett, of course, the feature back, but they will use some Pearson occasionally and Robert Newhouse. Haven't seen Pearson yet. Looks like it's Newhouse in front of Dorsett on this one. And they will give it to Neal. He busts through, breaks a tackle, and gets a nice gain on that one. The quick handoff to the fullback. And 10-yard gain, 3rd and short. Now they give it to Tony Dorsett, who cuts back, goes away from the hole, which Tony Dorsett is known to do and turn it into huge gains. But there he did it and turned it into a no gain. Should have just went through the hole, I believe. Number 62. I was waiting for him to follow him. John Fitzgerald, the center. But instead, Dorsett cut back, and Tampa Bay was there to stop him short. Punting duties also handled by the quarterback, Randy White. Danny White is the quarterback punter. Too many Whites on Dallas. All right, so Tampa Bay, a good punt, by the way, backs them up to the 13, but they were back further than this when they got their touchdown drive. There, Doug Williams does another quarterback run, and this time it does not work at all, as Bob Bruning, the what do you want to call him, Pro Bowler, if you're talking about 1980 Pro Bowl, middle linebacker, Doug Williams will roll out to his right and fire it downfield and right on the money. Doug Williams, 7 of 8, just playing great. Higgins on the end of that again. Tampa Bay is on fire. And they might want to go a step sooner. NFC Championship game last year. They're thinking Super Bowl this year. There's a handoff and a push. He just, Ricky Bell just threw someone off of him. I believe that was big old man Larry Cole. Doug Williams now he's going to go deep again and again. Tampa Bay comes down with it. What a catch. Wow. This is not what it was expected. Gordon Jones. When it first came out of his hand, I thought maybe he had overthrown it, but no. He put it out there. He goes up, makes the catch, comes down with it despite the contact. And the Dallas pass defense needs to wake up before this one gets out of hand. There's another fake. Doug Williams going to run for it again. Pushes one man off of him, but he did slow him down enough to have his teammates rally. A gain of only 2 yards. Doug Williams running an awful lot. And there's a handoff to Tony Davis. Tony Davis, probably third in the pecking order and running, but he gets a carry there. There's a screen set up for someone, but didn't matter as Dallas was all over it. Eckwood made the catch, but of course Bruce Thornton was all over it and tackled him short of the line of scrimmage. So 4th and 7, Tampa Bay reduced to kicking another field goal attempt. This will be a 44-yarder, so if you get much further than this, it'll be sketchy territory. But here, 44 yards, still no problem in 1980. And right through Tampa Bay. The fans cheering Super Bowl. I told you, the NFC Championship game wasn't good enough. They did get shut out in the championship game, so they are yet to score a point in a championship game, but they have played in one, and they want to go back again this year. That's hard to judge. Is this just the continued rise of Tampa Bay or the fall, the somewhat fortune-told collapse of the Cowboys, or a little bit of both? Tony Dorsett, a shoestring tackle there, just enough. That could have been a big gain. But a nice tackle by Richard Wood. There's another handoff to Dorsett, but Tampa Bay is just playing and shutting down the gaps. Good run defense so far from Tampa. And now Danny White on 3rd and 3 will turn, and he'll hand it off to Robert Newhouse, who does pick up the first down. Dave Lewis on the tackle. There's a throw downfield from Danny White, and there is the star receiver, Drew Pearson. They have a couple very good receivers on this team. We have not heard from Tony Hill yet, but Drew Pearson, his second catch. And Dallas back on Tampa Bay's side of the field like they were on the first drive. There's a handoff to Tony Dorsett, but he's eaten up in the backfield again. Nice play once again by Mr. Was that Lewis again? I believe that was Lewis again on the tackle. It was a combination of Kohler and Lewis. 2nd and 11. And a quick handoff to Robert Newhouse, but Tampa Bay was not fooled on that one, considering he's carried it 6 times. It's not a surprise anymore. 3rd and 9 for the Dallas Cowboys. Danny White draws back. They're bringing in the pressure, but the offensive line does a great job picking it up. Gives Danny White time, and he comes through with a completion over to Billy Joe Dupree. I believe that's his first catch of the game. Good job by the offensive line there. Bucks brought pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming in. The offensive line stands him up and gives Danny White the time he needs to get a big completion. And now a turn and hand off to Tony Dorsett, who gets a few more yards. 41 yards now on the day. Second and 5. Another handoff to Tony. And another yard or two. 3rd and 3 coming up. I formation for the Cowboys. Danny White drops back to pass. And offensive line gives him a little bit of time again, but there's a flag. Completes over to the tight end Billy Joe Dupree, but what the flag is a personal foul. It's roughing the passer. Tampa Bay. Richard Wood puts too big of a hit on Danny White, and the Cowboys now get the ball at the 10-yard line. Not quite a first and goal, though. And of Tony Dorsett, he fights his way for a gain of 1. Cowboys really do need a score here before the half. And they will hand off to Dorsett again. But again, Tampa Bay. No, it was not Dorsett. Newhouse with his 7th carry of the day. Richard Wood with yet another tackle, and that brings up the 2-minute warning. Well, you see the momentum bar all in favor of Tampa Bay. The crowd's going crazy. But Dallas is here. They're 10 yards away from making this a one-score game. Danny White drops back. They're only rushing 4. White throws corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Pearson. Drew Pearson went right to the corner, right to the pylon, and caught the ball for the touchdown. Great route. Good throw by Danny White, his first touchdown of 1980. Good production by the line, of course. Look at that, right at the pylon. You just get a couple inches past the line and catch the ball. Good job by Drew Pearson, one of the best receivers in the league. And now the extra point is good. A 12-play, 73-yard, 6.5-minute drive. And Dallas has cut the lead down to 13-7. And there's the return out to the 26-yard line. Curtis Jordan on the return. Doug Williams back there all alone. And in trouble. Throws it. I'm pretty sure that was knocked down at the line. But it looked awfully weird coming out of his hand. They say it is an incomplete pass, not a fumble or anything. Of course, they won't do the replay on that one. I'm not sure if it hit off of the defender's helmet or if he got his hands up there, but obviously Doug Williams did not anticipate somebody being too tall to throw over. Third and 4 now. Doug Williams in trouble, but launches it. And, oh my God, he almost completed that pass. It looked like he was in trouble just getting rid of it, but instead he launched it as far as he could possibly throw it, and his receiver almost came down with it. Knocked away at the last minute by Benny Barnes. My goodness. So for a second there, it looked like a huge play, Tampa Bay, but instead they will have to punt. And we'll see what the Cowboys want to do. They have all their timeouts. Butch Johnson not much on the return. Dorsett today, 14 carries, 44 yards. Has yet to break the big one, which is usually how he gets his average to shoot up. Danny White's going to throw first down, and he's going to find his man. Is that Butch? No, that's Pearson again. So Drew Pearson becoming more and more a part of this game, and that's a good sign for Cowboy fans. Danny White, quick drop now, and he completes it to Billy Joe Dupree. And another timeout called. So a quick 2 plays by Danny White. And he's got the ball into Tampa Bay territory now. There's a throw. That's on the money. Danny White's starting to heat up here. 10 of 12 on the day. Clock is running down under 30 seconds now. He'll go short to Dorsett. Dorsett unable to get out of bounds. And that might be the last play. They will call their timeout, but first they let 10 seconds run off the clock, so they call it with 10 seconds to go. And now the field goal attempt is good. Woo, just enough leg. Look at that. Look how close that was, but it was enough to count as 3 points, and Tampa Bay has seen their lead diminish down to 3 points. Tampa Bay came up, took a 13-0 lead. Dallas has come back and chopped it down to 13-10. And we are getting ready for an exciting second half, hopefully. Good start to the 1980 season in store. That rushing yard thing is ridiculous. As you know, Dallas has over 50 yards rushing, not negative 32. Maybe that means 32 less than anticipated. There you see the schedule of games in 1980. Of course, we will see some of them. The one highlighted, maybe I do it just because I highlighted it, but I don't think that's one. The ones you definitely will see, though, of course, are the Steelers at Bills. You'll see the Broncos Giants, and you'll see the Bears and Rams, as you will see the Cowboys, Giants, Bills, and Bears. That's cool. They highlighted the Giants and the Bears. They did not highlight the Bills game. They highlighted the Chargers instead, but that's wrong. We'll be watching the Bills and Steelers. Sack to the future style. You know you always get Bills, Cowboys, Giants, and Bears, if nothing else. See a little bit of halftime stats there. These cool devices in 1980. Inside rush yards, 51. So it looked like the inside rushing yards, Tampa Bay's winning 51-46 or something. Very close, though. Doug Williams completed his first 8 passes to start the game, or first seven or 8. Has cooled off a little bit since then, but still had a great first half. And they'll start off running to Eckwood, and Dallas's defense doesn't let him get much. A 2-yard gain. Now Williams goes back to the shotgun. A play action fake, and there's the tight end Jimmy Giles, probably the best player on the offense of Tampa Bay. But the first time we've called his name today. Tampa Bay up to 171 yards passing. So 1980, maybe not a full transition year, but unlike the last Sack to the Future that you may have watched, where we were in the 60s and it was almost, well, not every game, obviously it's Madden, so not every game played true to form or anything, but in the 60s we're still 60-40, maybe 66, no, probably 60-40 run to pass, or maybe 55. Speaking of run, Doug Williams, what? Charlie Waters dove the wrong way, and Doug Williams runs into the end zone for the touchdown. My goodness. I was trying to make a point, and then, of course, one of the most exciting plays of the game happens. So let's look at it in the replay. Gets a block there, another block there. Charlie Waters dove the wrong way, and then when this guy trips him up, he's able to fall into the end zone. Waters is having a rough game. But here comes Upremian. And he puts another extra point through. So Cowboys up to 270 yards allowed on defense and back down by 10. Now you hear more Super Bowl chants from the Tampa Bay faithful. What I was trying to say is 1980 is more of a lot closer to 50-50. There are some teams that may still attempt a couple more runs, but most teams are at least 50-50. Certainly some teams throw more than they pass in 1980. So, at least as far as replaying it on the system that is Madden, we will get a little bit more realistic stats, I would assume, as the real life NFL is moving into the passing part of its history, so Madden can do that a little bit better. With that said, the Cowboys are running the ball a lot today. 3rd and 13. Danny White draws back to pass. Long way to go. He'll just dump it out to Dorsett. Kind of a give-up play there, but Danny White putting decent stats together. He's 12 of 14, over 150 yards. But stats are not what is important, especially when you're coming off of the great Roger Staubach leading your team for so long. Okay, Doug Williams has been amazing. 11 of 14, 179 yards with a touchdown. He's also run for close to 100 yards and a touchdown. So Doug Williams just absolutely surprising Dallas with both his legs and arm. And there's another perfect pass. Dropped it in to Bell out of the backfield. Wow. So they get a little bit tricky with it. Bell drop it right over D.D. Lewis's head. Let's take a look at this. This is a nice throw. Right over Lewis and perfectly into Bell's breadbasket for a huge gain. Buccaneers now turn. It's a play action pass. Doug Williams steps up. He fires towards the sidelines. That's complete. And Williams up over 200 yards now. Tampa Bay has run 30 plays and put up 20 points. Not bad. There's fake, and Williams going to keep it himself. He actually powers forward, but still takes a shot. He's up to 92 yards on the ground. He's taken a few hits, but it has not affected him yet. There's a nice throw. Oh! Sort of a back shoulder throw almost. And then when it was caught, Aaron Mitchell, I believe, was the man on the coverage. Let's see if they show the replay here. So they cut over, he throws, he just stops. So Higgins just stops, Mitchell doesn't. So when he makes the catch, Higgins makes the catch, he's able to turn and have a just empty space between him and the end zone. So Tampa Bay really putting it out. There were the critics, I was telling you, that said the Doomsday defense is too old, and they're not sure. You know, Danny White certainly is not Roger Staubach, so they're going to collapse on both sides. I said that I did not believe that. In fact, I put the Cowboys as a 4-point favorite, is what I was predicting. But Tampa Bay is destroying them, 27-10. So perhaps those experts are right. It would feel odd to see Dallas not in the postseason conversation, but Tampa Bay, after suffering for the first couple of years, last year breaking through, and this year looking like a formidable team, could be what the league needs. Either way, this is the first Act of the Future, well, I think, we had some random projects that started, and maybe the Bucks, maybe we had the real Bucks on here before, but I believe this is the first Sack to the Future game where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a real team, not a semi-pro team. And there is a broken up pass downfield, so the Cowboys will have to punt again. There, if you caught that stat up top, the Dallas Cowboys have actually run the ball 24 times and thrown in only 16, so they're still back in the older era of running more than throwing. That will definitely transition. 1980. As we go forward, hopefully we can keep this going. You all know I want to get to 85, so hopefully we'll get at least that far. But the passing will become more and more prevalent. Might be a certain individual that comes around in the 1983 draft that destroys the old way of playing football. But that's for another time. We're in 1980. Long way to go here in this season. There will be some pauses, of course. The roster, by the way, is out on Madden Share. There's actually a couple of them for 1980. I believe it was Soundwave that made the original one. But then this is one, I actually started with one that was a re-rated version, just because the ratings, I think Soundwave, obviously he would be able to speak for himself if he's on the channel, but I believe Soundwave kind of builds his to play with Madden, like so you could play it with Madden's created draft classes that come out way too highly rated. So if you downrate some of the guys, like I like to do, then the rookies, take their jobs too quick. So this was actually a re-rated roster from Kappa. It's called 1980 re-rate, and that was much more in line with my ratings, except for quarterback. Quarterbacks were still way too high, so I have lowered them some, and some of the other people, I just rated because I have my own system. But that's what we started with here. So thanks to both Soundwave and Kappa for making the roster, dressing all the people, and the things that take endless hours of work. And then I just rate the teams before their first game. And then once we get through week one, it should pick up steam and go a little bit quicker. But I'm not sure how long it'll take before we can get the second game of the season in. Right now, Dallas is just getting destroyed by Tampa here, 30-10. So I'm going into some of the other things around the game because this does not seem to be close anymore. I talked about the quarterback lowering. Madden, of course, has their quarterbacks way too accurate. Again, because, it's based off 2020 football, where everyone, is expected to complete at least 70% of their passes. And that just wasn't a thing back then. So the ratings have to go extremely low to get anything close to accurate. For instance, I think neither one of these quarterbacks, Doug Williams or Danny White, are rated above 75. They're both below 75, I believe, or maybe one of them's right at 75. But they're 75 or under, and you can look at the stats and see that Danny White's 13 of 17, Doug Williams is at 70% himself. So don't worry. Don't worry when you turn the game on and you see, why is that quarterback only rated a 72? He'll still throw 70% or close. So it's just, you really have to have a special year to have a high quarterback rating in my system. And then there's also other things like Madden disrespects offensive line run blocking again, because running is just not as important in 2020. So you might see offensive linemen a little bit higher rated than you would think. Like, well, he wasn't even a Pro Bowler. Why is he an 84? But then this Pro Bowl quarterback's a 75. Well, that's just the way Madden plays. A 75 quarterback can still do amazing things, but a 75 offensive lineman can't block anyone. So the Cowboys are driving here. They have got to go for it on 4th down from now on if they want any chance of coming back. If you've been here the whole time, you will remember that they went for it on their first drive on 4th down and left points on the field. So now they're kind of forced to go for it on 4th down. The sack doesn't help, though. So they will punt. Although it's still Danny White back there, so he might do a fade. No, he's going to punt it. Well, we played 3 quarters, and it's all Buccaneers. Again, the rushing yards completely inaccurate, but I think the Bucs side was right. The Bucs are up over 300 yards of offense. Doomsday defense, no more. There's Eckwood's 6th carry. He has 15 yards on the day. Another handoff to Eckwood, and nice tackle made by Bruning. 3rd and 5, Dallas. It goes without saying, Dallas needs to stop them right here. It's a 3-score game. Cannot let any time come off the clock if possible. Doug Williams return fire. Complete to Eckwood, but a nice tackle made by Benny Barnes. I believe the corner came up and stuck him. Benny Barnes, of course, the 8-year vet out of Stanford. Comes up, makes the hit, and holds Bell from getting a 1st down. And forces a punt. So, any of you holding out hope for a Cowboy victory, you still can hope for at least one more drive, as Barnes made that play. Now, Danny White and this Dallas offense needs to come through. They've had a couple good-looking drives. One, they left the ball at the 5-yard line without any points. Another time they got stopped to a field goal. But it's more of a disappointing defensive effort from Dallas. Danny White's at 80%. I think his overall rating, you can go back and look, but his overall rating, I know it's under 75. I want to say maybe 71 or something, and he's at 80%. So, again, don't pay attention to the overall ratings. 17 to 21, 205 yards. He's just fine. Drew Pearson, of course, is a stud. 7th catch. Danny White going to throw again now. And look at the offensive line. Gave him time. He's going to have to go short. So Tampa Bay's in all-out cover mode. Danny White is continuing to take the checkdowns, which is smart, but, smart enough to not force things yet, but you do have to get points on this drive. There's a nice throw out to Drew Pearson again. That's at least his 8th catch, so Pearson showing up in a major way. Danny White, quick drop. He slings it out to Billy Joe Dupree. Dallas is driving here. They need a touchdown. No more field goals allowed. Danny White, quick drop. Oh, now he's in trouble and avoids the tackle. Fires it towards the end zone and out of the end zone. Okay, so Danny White avoids the sack and gets rid of it for an incompletion. That was a very big play, actually. Kudos to Danny White. Instead of having a 3rd and 9 or so, we have a 3rd and 2. Look at this, Logan all over him, but Danny White showing the strength to survive. that hit and then got rid of it before Selman. He was not going to survive the Selman hit, so he got rid of the ball. And now there's pressure again. Wow. The Dallas offensive line has played pretty well for most of the game, but here Logan just took, was that Fitzgerald? Yeah, the center Fitzgerald just throws him into Danny White. Did not realize Logan was that strong. But 4th and 10. Okay, so this is the game down to 9 minutes. The Cowboys have got to convert here or it's over. Here comes pressure from Tampa. The offensive line picks it up well, and then Danny White throws an interception. His first poor throw of the game with the game on the line. And that's the thing. Sometimes you can put up good stats, but you used to have Captain America, Mr. Comeback, whatever you want to call him. And now you have someone that reacts differently in the 4th quarter when the pressure's on. So that should do it. That should do it. For any Sack to the Future fans watching this, there is no doubt that 1980 is going to continue. Like I talked about, it may take a little bit longer getting through week 1, as I have to get all the teams rated. And then once we get through week 1, though, it should go quicker. A couple things different about Sack to the Future 1980 here. I'm not going to be as accurate with the transactions and things. A lot of times there's people, an offensive lineman gets hurt, another guy gets picked up just for that game in week 5. He's probably already on the team. So if they played during the year for this team and no other team, then they're already on the roster week 1. I'm probably not playing, but perhaps some of them would be. But if there's major trades like, I don't know, Chargers and the Saints or so, dealing someone big, then we will try to reflect those. The other things, there will still be semi-pro teams because we still don't have a full league yet in 1980. Whoa, what? Doug Williams is having a great game, but he just threw off Brooming off of him, and he is definitely feeling some momentum boost or something. Because Doug Williams is having the greatest game of his life today. What else was I going to say? Look at this. That's a Pro Bowl linebacker. And let me just throws him off. Well, it's all Tampa Bay today. Everything going right for them. In real life, 2023, Doug Williams is going to run for it, and no one's going to hit him. It's going to be a second rushing touchdown of the day for Doug Williams, who has definitely exploited Dallas' defense with his legs. And it's just a blowout. I was going to say we're January 16th, 2023 in real life. And tonight, of course, the 2022 versions of these teams will meet tonight with Dak Prescott and Tom Brady. Dallas's team is much, well, I don't know about much, but definitely more talented and should win. A lot of people get onto or hate Dak Prescott for the wrong reasons. With that said, though, the only pause or hesitation I have to declare Dallas a winner tonight is because Tampa Bay's quarterback is still Tom Brady, and it just feels like you could throw any 10 guys out there with Tom Brady, and they'll have a chance. So you can't write off the Bucs in real life, but I do not see it being 37-10. So a 1980 surprise whooping will not happen in 2023. I do not believe. Now, so coming into this game, of course, I told you last year in '79, the Bucs went all the way to the NFC Championship game, 10-6 in the regular season, and then turned on the defense in the postseason. In fact, only gave up 9 points, did not give up a touchdown in the NFC Championship game. Unfortunately, their offense didn't score at all, and that's why they did not go to the Super Bowl. Cowboys made the playoffs last year as well in Staubach's last year, but were out in their first game against the Rams. Both these teams lost to the Rams. Oh, Danny White throws another interception, and it's going to be returned. No, okay. So Tony Dossett, not just conceding the pick six, comes in there and stops Washington. I thought it was going to be a pick six and be even more of a blowout. Tampa Bay has not turned it over. Danny White has turned it over twice now, trying to force things to happen. I don't even know if you need to force them anymore. I mean, you're down by 27. You might just save your statistical ratings and whatnot and just get out of here. Doug Williams fires across the middle. It's caught. Running all over him, but he's still able to make the catch. There's Doug Williams, whose accuracy rating is... Let me give you a little insight if I still have it up. I believe I have my spreadsheet here. For any of you wondering how the rating system works. Doug Williams. Okay, here is my ratings for Doug Williams. Short accuracy 74. And that's the best of the accuracies. So his accuracy ratings are 66, 74, 70. But he's at like 84% in this game with a couple touchdowns and no turnovers. Real life, 1980, he finished under 49%. Did have 3,400 yards, 20 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, and that's his third rushing touchdown. Doug Williams runs for 3 touchdowns here in the 1980 opener, and my goodness, I promise the rest of 1980 will not be as one-sided as this one, but what a crazy start to the season. Unexpected for sure.
That this headset is working.
We're looking at time-wise here. Okay, it seems like it's taking longer. That's just because it's not exciting being the blowout. Looks like we're around an hour. So not too bad on the timing. So I think the full quarters, the full 50-minute quarters will be okay. It's just we need closer games. Danny White finds Pearson again, and who's shoved out of bounds, but no penalty marker. These are just pointless plays at this point. I guess trying to establish something for next week. It's the only relevance this has. That's a nice catch made by Hill. It's about time we heard from Hill. Too little, too late, of course. About a minute to go. At least they're not calling timeouts. Danny White from midfield, in trouble, and down he goes. That was a coverage sack, folks, as they had lots of time, but nobody to throw to. And the offensive line does not appreciate those cover sacks. There's a quicker throw. Danny White getting close to 300 yards, but again, it's a lot of junk yards here at the end. And that'll do it. 44-10. Nobody expected that. I predicted a 4-point victory for Dallas. It's actually a 34-point victory for Tampa Bay. So I look like an idiot. All those haters that told me Dallas was done and they're nothing anymore, and Tampa Bay's the new breed based on the 79 rise of the Bucs and the Cowboys' early exit in the playoffs. Perhaps they are right. At least for week 1 they get the laughs. Well, that's it. That's it from week 1. Not week 1, but the first game of week 1. We will be back. I haven't even looked at the schedule to see which one's next, but either the Buffalo Bills, Chicago Bears, or New York Giants will be your next game. And hope you can tune in for that. Until then, thanks for watching. Have a good night.